In downtown Amarillo, right across from the In God We Trust American flag, 10th and Polk in Amarillo, Ronny Jackson, our Congressman, District 13. Where have you been? What have you been doing? You've been busy.
Unfortunately, we've been stuck in D.C. for quite some time, in case you hadn't noticed. I think it was, I got home this weekend. It's the first time I really got to come home in 10 weeks because we had all this issue with our speaker and everything. But the good news, we got a phenomenal speaker right now, and he's been in the office for about 3 weeks right now, and we're getting a lot done. And things look good for the country right now with Mike Johnson as our speaker.
Well, listen, tell us about Armed Services Committee. I mean, you've been up there working hard for our district. I wanted to get a little update so folks could know what's happening. I know I'll start with the Farm Bill. That's been extended, and I wanted to check in and see how things were with that.
Yes, it's great. I mean, Washington's trying to do what they always do. They were trying to cram a big omnibus bill where they just, put anything and everything they could possibly think of into one massive bill right before the Christmas holidays and expect everybody just to vote on it and sign off on it. And we weren't going to do that. Mike Johnson's not going to do that. So we pushed out the funding for the government until the middle of January, and it gives us a little more time to get these appropriations bills done like we're supposed to. But in the process, we also extended our farm bill all the way until September 30 of next year, which is really important because you can work some of these issues, but farmers need the reassurance that those programs are going to be in place because they have to plant their crops, and there's a lot of trust on their part, in the government to be able to do their job. So we've got that security there for the farmers until the 30th. Doesn't mean we're not going to pass the farm bill. When we get back in January, we're going to work hard on this farm bill, and we will have a farm bill done in the next few months. But we have that security blanket of having the previous farm bill extended until September 30, just to make everybody feel good about the process. So we got a lot of good stuff.
So listen, I was thinking the other day, there's no way that we can have our farm trucks and our pickups and everything. They got to run on, gas and diesel.
Right.
We can't.
Yeah.
Is anybody talking about that? Like, I don't know any farmers that can redo their whole deal and do green.
Well, nobody in the White House is talking about that. All they're talking about is the Green New Deal and electric vehicles, and they're just way ahead of their skis on this. We know out here in rural America, you can't do that. You can't rely on charging your pickup. And like you said, they have a fleet of vehicles if you're a farmer or a rancher, right? You can't replace all those vehicles. Some of these people drive 100 miles round trip to go to work and back every day. It's just not reasonable. If you live in a densely populated urban area, you have to drive 4 city blocks to go to work. Maybe it works for you. It doesn't work in rural America. It doesn't work here in Amarillo, and we're pushing back to make sure that that's not forced down our throat.
Yeah, man, our agriculture in our oil and gas here in the Panhandle and your district so important.
Yeah.
So that's a good update.
I'll tell you also, let me tell you about Pantex as well, because I want to let everybody know that we've got millions and millions of dollars in the defense appropriations headed towards Pantex, and I passed a bill last week. The Biden administration had indicated that they were going to take some of that money we appropriated and they're going to spend it on something other than Pantex. And so I put a bill in last week that's coming to the floor to stop that. So we're going to prevent them from taking money away from Pantex and spending it on other issues, which probably would have been some of their Green New Deal stuff. I'm not sure, but the money's coming to Pantex.
Gotcha. We coming back. We hang out just for a second. I know it's just a little bit windy, but it's hard to get you downtown Amarillo, and we want to talk about maybe a little bit of Thanksgiving and maybe some border and some different issues. I know the government shutdown looming. So will you stay and talk just a second about that?
Yeah.
All righty. We'll be back. Stick around.